It's working. Yes, it is. So I just raised people's eardrums for no reason.
We here.
It's me, Joe, Tim, the fan.
Wolverine. Logan.
My mutton chops. Why I can't connect beer like Tim? I don't know.
Day and night candles. Here we are.
We got Bronx cars outside. Don't know how I fucking drive.
Oh yeah, New York City. City opening up.
Is that good?
Oh yeah, it's a good thing, you know. Mass restrictions are starting to come off, you know. They saying what they was the CDC says okay if you've been vaccinated, but companies and business ain't gonna be asking people walking in the store, are you vaccinated?
Oh, dude.
So you might as everyone is gonna have this shit off.
And it's supposed to be like a discrimination thing. Like, you're not supposed to ask people what's your...
That's what I'm saying. A lot of people ain't gonna want to do that.
Yeah.
But I think in this situation, they'd probably be excused. But I know where I was at, they was like, dude, don't even... I said, good, because I wasn't gonna do it either. Like,
yeah.
I'm not gonna stop everyone. Oh, let me see a vaccination card. Or I'm not doing that dumb shit.
Is a vaccination card?
But whatever it is that they can tell if you've been vaccinated, whatever they going off of.
All I know is...
I'm not doing it.
Don't compare yourself to a Holocaust survivor. If you haven't been vaccinated.
No, you don't want them folks on you, man.
Yeah.
That's one thing you leave Jewish people alone.
Yeah, but they gotta leave Palestine alone, right?
Yeah, that's the funny thing about it. Yeah.
I saw. I thought it. I said it. I was like, it's funny how they're doing this when they had Germany on their ass, killing all of them. I was like, aren't they kind of doing the same thing?
Yeah, you like taking over other people's land and territory.
Mm-hmm. And
that whole Israel country didn't come there until like the 40s, like after World War II. You know?
And I didn't want to say that on air or anything. But then I saw like a meme of an Israeli soldier like pointing a gun at somebody, then looking in the mirror, and then showing a German dude doing that to them. I was like,
yeah, got some work to do here. I need that. I'm gonna look a little bit more into that. I'm interested, man. I want to see how that's gonna play out. You know, they've been fighting over there for years, man.
I saw a little brief thing on Vice. I think it was about that after one of the world wars. There's a whole bunch of Jews that needed the place because they got evicted.
Displaced and everything.
So England gave them part of Palestine.
Yeah, that was after World War II. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Palestine said no. Yeah. They got into a little war, and then they lost more land.
Yeah.
And it was like a big bridge, and then British promised these guys the land, and he's like, yeah, you gotta give us your land. And no, we live here. And Israel is pushing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that sounds just about as right as far as like what I can remember hearing or reading. Yeah, that's exactly like how it went. They need to find a way to push them. I'm not too sure if I read or someone told me this, because I think at first they was trying to look for like somewhere in Africa to give them. Because I don't know how that worked, and sometimes
more of Africa.
Yeah. They was gonna bring all those World War II people, give them a space in Africa.
South Africa.
I don't know exactly where at, but they was gonna give them somewhere, one of those countries. I can't say South or whatever, but somehow they settled on the Palestinians.
White people take too much land. They still take too much shit.
That's why it's kind of funny to hear them world leaders say things about doing things right and justice. Is like, oh Lord, do you see your background?
They're not even proceed. There's a saying of being the man before the. I forgot the saying. I'm not good at this.
You know who the saying was by? Or no?
The saying is basically like being the man on the paper or being the writer. It's just like what you're saying is not actually what you're portraying.
Of course.
So you're like saying things to appease the masses, but you have other ideals.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's one thing these leaders do the most, especially I know in America. I know like the president of the Philippines called them out on it. A few leaders called them out on it. I know when Obama was in office, whoever was the president of the Philippines, I don't know if he's still in power, but he had this thing where he's trying to clean up the country. So criminals, he was just flat out killing them.
Yeah.
He was just killing them. You know, America got to be that's inhumane. You can't do that. And what he said to them was like, look what y'all do to black people in your country. Don't tell me how to run my fucking country.
Well, it's inhumane when they have murder squads and you can't use no drugs at all. And if you're out at a certain time, they just drive up and shoot you. That's
but the whole point is you got one person that need to clean up their backyard.
Yeah.
You know, that was the whole point. That was the whole point he was making. Don't tell me how to run my country when you got problems and doing inhumane stuff in yours.
But then it's weird because America feels like we gotta clean up everybody's mess, and it gives us profits.
Oh yeah, right. That's how they get money.
But
that's how they become
evil,
become world agitators.
And then it's like, well, why aren't we focused on our shit? Because we don't got no resources here. We gotta steal other people's shit.
Yeah, that's why they apply that's why they so minding everyone else's business, you know. And it's funny. I like to see how it's funny how everything is playing out because when George Washington was in office, he made like a demand and told Americans was the next president after stay away from foreign affairs. You know.
Yeah.
I was one of the things.
Mind your business.
Yeah, stay away from foreign affairs, but pretty clearly America ain't do that.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know what started it. I don't know who. You seem we'll learn from, taking over slaves and shit, going to other people's countries.
It really, I don't know exactly if I'm accurate, but I like to think all of this recently probably started during the First World War. We was the last country to join in, so we took the least damages.
Are we always the last